Well, it's been a minute, long enough for me to grow a decent beard. Figured I'd do a little bit of an update just to let you guys know I was still alive and around and well and working on stuff. I've done a few things off camera. The F100, I replaced the driver's side tie rod with a good used one from the long bed frame I had. The old one was tied up with baling wire, and I mean, I think it popped out at one time before. Now I have two wheels pointing different directions, so I'm going to do a tape measure toe adjustment on that, see how that works. I've never done it before, but I think it'll be pretty straightforward, and it can't get any worse. I'll just adjust the one side. Also, I think I figured out what I'm going to do with my charging system on the F100. I was thinking one wire GM alternator, but I didn't really want to buy one. I was hoping for something a little more cheap. So I got to looking around, and I've got Fox body parts, extra Fox body parts laying around. So I looked at a alternator from a Fox body, and it's basically the same housing on the front. It's the same mounting points between the old one that came on the truck, the 390, and the 302 based one from the Mustang. I'll show you real quick. This will allow me to run less wires and not have an external regulator. So here's the new one, or here's the Fox body one, affectionately known as the purple Nurple, due to the horrible paint job somebody gave it before I got it in a deal of parts. I'll put it down on the ground for now. I can't get it to sit well in my trunk. So here's the old one, here's the new one. Same mounting hole here, same mounting hole here. I mean, the front looks exactly the same. The back's a little bit different, but not much. The new one is a little bit bigger, but not a ton. I don't think that'll cause a problem. We'll see. But yeah, and this it's a little bit deeper too, so we'll see. If you can tell, it's a little bit taller. Got a little bit more of a bump here, and maybe a little bit more of a bulge down here. But I've got to get I've got this one, this connector from an old alternator I bought and never replaced this, because if you don't replace these, they tend to catch on fire. But I was living dangerously back in the day. I got to get this plug. I'm either going to the junkyard or I'm going to buy it. Good chance I'm going to buy it, because a junkyard's about an hour and a half away, and just to grab that and throw it in my toolbox for free, it's still a 2 hour or hour and a half drive. So yeah, there's some wiring. I'm sure that'll come in handy to put this back together to the stock wiring, or what's left of the stock wiring. But I think that'll work out good. That'll be the next thing I do. I'm gonna do the fuel system too, probably along the same times. Which fuel system I think I'm gonna get lazy. It might bite me in the butt, but I think I'm going to just take out the sending unit for the gauge and just see how bad it is in there. If it's not bad, and it's gonna have to be really bad for me not to do this, I'm gonna put fuel filters in line, probably 2 of them, and then all I have to do is run a little bit of fuel line, which I don't think there's a whole lot of fuel line to run, because I think it comes out of the tank, goes to hard line goes all the way up the frame, and then a line to the fuel pump. So shouldn't be too bad. But also wanted to kind of update you on the green coupe. This is the motor that's going in the green coupe. I've got a few things that I need to fix on it. It's going to be a quick and dirty, probably gasket and paint, and call it good. It won't be powerful, it won't be fast, and it won't have a lumpy cam. This distributor isn't going in there. This is just holding place for it may find its way into the 55 gasser eventually. Broke off bolts whenever I took this front cover off, and ultimately I cracked this, so I need a new front cover, which I do have one. It's a shame because I like this one because it's got the boss for the mechanical fuel pump. You just gotta cut out that hole there. That's what I did on my T-top coupe, but it's not gonna happen. That thing's junk as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, this will be painted, gasketed, the proper rear sump oil pan put on it, and it's gonna get slammed in there so the car becomes less of a roller and more of a runner. Again, it won't be anything pretty, it won't be anything fast, but it'll be together and it'll move under its own power. And that might give me motivation to actually, do more to it, get it legal, maybe drive it around, have some fun with it. But SVO cover, my friend John brought over. It's going into storage up in the attic. These things are getting pretty sought after. I've got one on my T-top coupe. I've got one brand new in the box in my closet. And then we have this one. And this one's probably right in between as far as condition. The one in my T-top coupe is pretty rough and has part of this ear ground down for some reason. And then the one that I've got in my is brand new. It's brand new with instructions and everything. So, anyways, I'm going to hang on to those because when I switched over to Ford Racing, they ground the SVO off and CNC'd Ford Racing in them. They just took them and machined them down and made the Ford Racing ones. So any stock they had turned into Ford Racing ones. I did swap the pulleys to make that alternator work. So I went from a serpentine from the Fox body one, and I swapped off the pulley, and that's a straight shaft, not a tapered one like some of them are. So if I have alignment issues, as long as I don't have to go further in, I can always go further out with washers to make that line up right. Hopefully it just pops right on, works good enough. Don't have to do anything. That'd be great. The wiring will be the hardest part, and I've already done wiring on one of those on my T-top coupe. I'll have to rehash it and look things up again, but they're far from tricky. They're no one wire, but I think all in all, you hook up 6 wires in all, and quite a few of them go to the same place, hooked to the same stuff. So, and that'll be great. The battery won't die. Truck can sit there and run forever. It's just one more step. The fuel and that are one more step towards getting it to where it actually can drive on its own and be a functioning vehicle. I'm at 49 subscribers right now. I would love to be at 50. I'd love to be at 100 by the first of the year, but that's a long, lofty goal. It's far from the tens of thousands that people have, but I'd really like to have 100 by the end of the year. If you're watching this and you haven't already, like, subscribe, share. If you have a friend that you think would like it, if you have a friend that you've told about and they watch it, make sure they subscribe. Helps me out a lot. Thanks for watching, and like I said, like, subscribe, hit that button.